Gouache, 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 gouache. The correct pronunciation is gouache, gouache. You say it kind of like all one word, gouache. If you've ever been curious about gouache, this is Gouache 101, and I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know. Learn the basics with this video and follow along for more targeted lessons where you can learn to be better at gouache and painting in general. What exactly is gouache? It is matte, opaque watercolor. It can reactivate with water. It's more opaque than watercolor, and it has a softer, more velvety texture than acrylic. It dries lighter than when it's wet. I find that it's actually pretty easy for beginners, but a lot of people haven't tried it and feel intimidated by it. Here is what you need if you are going to get started. I'm going to list everything in the description of this video, but I'll also put it on the screen. You don't need the most expensive supplies to start, and you don't need the most expensive brushes. There are student-grade gouache and artist-grade gouache paints, and you can start with whatever you can afford. There's also different types. There's jelly gouache and traditional gouache. Good paper matters more than fancy paint, and if I were you, I would start out with a couple of brushes that you really like a pointy round brush, and don't spend too much money on it. Having a few colors that you really like is better than having a whole set that you don't know what to do with. You do not need the 48 color paint set to start. The biggest mistake that people make when they're using gouache is not getting the right consistency. It really needs to be creamy, not too much water and not too much paint. But when you get the balance right, the colors are so pretty. The thing that I really love about gouache is that you can use it in so many different ways. You can use it kind of in an illustration way, and these are just some different brands. Some of them are much more opaque and thick than others. Here is on black paper. Love gouache on black paper. It's so bright and colorful. Like this plant, for example, was painted with gouache, and it really gives it a hard-edged quality, and you can really get distinctions between colors. The difference between gouache and watercolor, here's an example of just a watercolor sample. Watercolor is definitely more flowy and see-through. And the cool thing about gouache though is that you can mix it with watercolor. So you can do multimedia illustrations and get all kinds of different effects, which is absolutely amazing. Let's talk about brands of gouache, what you want to buy if you're going to spend your money. My favorite brands of gouache of all time are #1 Holbein for the colors and the consistency, and Winsor & Newton Designers Gouache. I also, for a lower budget option, and also they have some really nice metallics, I also love the Arteza. You can get these on Amazon and they're pretty great. So you can also try getting some cheaper ones and just see the difference for yourself. If you cannot afford the expensive ones, get the cheap ones, because everyone should be able to do art at whatever budget you have. I'm planning on doing a series of reviewing a couple of different brands of gouache, because sometimes you're surprised. Sometimes you find some cheap things and they're absolutely amazing. In terms of brushes, you can use anything. You do want to kind of go with things that are watercolor brushes, but a little bit more firm, because gouache is not as smooth and flowy as watercolor. It's a little bit harder. So I kind of like these little filberts. These are by Himi. Himi is the company that makes those jelly gouaches in the cup. I've actually never tried those. I want to. Maybe I should get some to give them a try, but I really like their brushes because they're very springy. And then I just pick up cheap brushes because I do feel like gouache is kind of hard on your brushes, and you can just kind of get at it and not feel bad about ruining your brushes if you get cheap brushes. But I do like the Hemi brushes. If you're just starting out with gouache, try a short flat brush that not like a very long brush. This is great for watercolor, but I like to do a short flat one, or maybe one with a sharp edge like this so you can get some detail. And always have 2 cups of water, one for rinsing and one for mixing with your gouache. You don't need a whole lot of water. Always have a paper towel or a rag. And then I have paint palettes that I use, and actually just made these in my ceramic studio. So those are fun. Let's go through making colors with gouache and trying them out. And you can follow along with me if you want to try some new things. First of all, what colors do you have to have? Oh my goodness, here's my gouache bin. And this is like, the only reason I have so many colors is because I absolutely love the Holbeins. I love their colors, and they come out with these sets that are absolutely amazing. Enough talking, let's get started on a little project that you can follow along with or just watch and learn. Okay, so you wanna have water, your jar of water, you wanna have a rag. And before I get started, really, what I wanna show you is there's one more type of, it's watercolor officially, but also some people call it gouache. There's really kind of a middle lane here. This is the Kuretake. This is watercolor, but it is opaque watercolor. And these are also my very favorite. I absolutely love these. These are a little bit more see-through, and the box looks like this. And these are made in Japan. They're Japanese watercolors, and the colors are just absolutely gorgeous. And they're often like based on historical movements. Like there's an Art Nouveau set. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh my gosh. I kind of messed it up, but super pretty. So these are my other favorites. I love to paint with these. They're my favorite. But let's test out some of these tubes while we're here. So what you're gonna wanna do is you have your tubes of gouache, right? let's just take a little bit. And remember that when you use these, you do not have to wash out your palette. You can save your palette. I would cover it with something when you're done. So like a plastic wrap or something, because you don't want to get dust in your paint. It's kind of a pet peeve. Speeding this part up a little bit, but what you need is a good palette. I like to use a ceramic palette, but I do make sure to cover it when I'm done. Again, I hate the dust. It's so annoying. You just need a tiny bit of gouache. It's like a pea-sized amount. You can always put more in because it's not like you're going to be rinsing it out or wasting it. You can just re-wet it. Another thing that's a little bit helpful is to use a limited palette. I like to stick with like 5-ish colors so that I don't feel overwhelmed. And right now I'm just kind of playing around with a flower. I also like to really vary my colors. If you're making a pink flower, see if you can make 5 different pinks. You can even mix the opposite color on the color wheel, like with pink, that would be a green, and you can tone down your colors to add a little variety. Now we're gonna paint a lemon. If you have a picture of a real item that you wanna try painting, follow along with me or paint this little lemon. I wasn't looking at anything, I was just kind of playing around. I think that gouache lends itself a lot to graphic design and illustration, and you don't necessarily have to be painting something from life, but it does help to be looking at something. In terms of consistency, and this is where most people have to practice quite a bit, I like to just dip my brush in the water and then use it to kind of moisten the paint so it should feel like butter. It should be nice and smooth, but sometimes it does get a little bit like crusty. The other thing about it is that you can put your backgrounds on after you paint your subject, which is really cool. It's very opaque, so if you don't like something, like my stem of my lemon was a little bit thick, so I just painted over it with blue in the background, and I'm just playing around, and it's really very forgiving. Try painting a couple of simple studies. If you go to my website, I will post a few things that you can try with gouache and some things that you can print out if you need a step-by-step guide. Sometimes that's really helpful. Let's look at an example now of what happens when you don't mix enough water into your gouache. This purple is looking a little bit dry, and if you just mix a little bit of water in there, you will see that it looks so much better. Look at the difference. Another really fun thing about gouache that makes it super versatile is that if you add a lot of water to it, it really does get a watercolor consistency. So this is an example of adding a lot of water to my purple. It looks just like watercolor. It's just not quite as luminous, but it still looks really cool. So this is a super thing to take if you're traveling and you want to have different choices of mediums. One of the biggest things that really sets gouache apart from watercolor is that it is absolutely gorgeous on black paper. I'm using Legion's black watercolor paper, which is my favorite, and I just love the way light colors look on black paper. So definitely try that. And I think it also lends itself to more of like a graphic design style, so like sharp edges. I'm just going to speed this up a little bit so you can see what I did, but I actually have another video that will be uploaded next week where I do this entire painting and talk through it and show you how to make it if you want to follow along with that tutorial. I hope you learned that gouache is not as intimidating as you thought, and I hope you give it a try. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. I do reply to comments, and head over to my website for lists of products that I recommend and more. Happy painting, and please make sure to like and subscribe to see more videos like this.